Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Right, just a quick one today. In the background there you can see a Yamaha Stage Custom Honey Amber 22, 10, 12, 16, 14 inch snare kit. I've had this new, I've had it for just under a year, and this is just going to be a quick look at some of the features of it, the hardware, look at the quality of the wood, quality of the fixtures and fittings. There are loads of sound tests elsewhere, filmed in big studios and what have you, so I'm not actually going to do that, but what I couldn't find when I was looking was really close-up looks of it and a bit of a real-world review and a chat about how it actually stacks up against more expensive kits. So if you're looking for an actual studio-level sound test, this isn't the video for you, but to be honest, I think you will still find it useful because I'm going to look in detail at some more of the features of it. So without further ado, let's get into it. Right, filming this outside, it's a little bit windy. This is what you get, okay? So 10x7 rack tom, 12x8 rack tom, 22x17 bass drum. It doesn't have a port in the head. I put one of these code ones on, which is good. There's a 14 by probably 5 snare, maybe 5.5, not actually sure. And a 16 by 14 floor tom, which is currently upside down. Right, so this has got the original heads on. This comes with Chinese Yamaha, Remo UT heads, which to be honest are fine. UT on the top of all the toms and UC on the bottom, so I think the T are twin ply and the C are single ply. It also comes with a UT bass drum head. It's got a little muffling ring inside, and also the batter head is same UT. It's probably a little bit like an EQ3, I think. So the only modifications that I've made to this in this particular video is that's the Falam Slam patch and the hole in the kick port. Now, okay, so I have gigged this probably 5 or 6 times, and it was great. I actually ran it with Evans G2 clears on the top of the toms and G1 clears on the bottom of the toms, and I had a Remo, an Evans EQ4 because I prefer the single ply bass drum head. But to be quite honest, they do make quite a big difference. There's nothing really wrong with these factory heads. I play drums in pro bands, and so at the end of the day I just wanted to have the pro equipment on it. That said, this kit retails for £750 currently at the beginning of 2024 in the UK, and for that, as it stands, I would say it's really good value. Okay, so a little bit more. You get this massively sturdy tom mount, okay, which goes into the bass drum, and you get these 3 not especially impressive floor tom legs, but the floor tom legs, they work. I mean, they're not, there's no suspension in them or anything like that. I've got a Star Classic kit Tama which has got like air feet, and they're a bit more substantial. But to be honest, these work absolutely fine. So let's talk a bit more about some more of the features. Okay, so bass drum spurs. So the Yamaha Stage Custom, and I believe also the Tour Custom, they're the lower in the line of Yamaha's actual professional level kits, if you like. I think they're a Rally Dean or something like that that's under this, which to be honest is fine. I had one as a house kit at a festival and it was okay, but the hardware is substantially better on these. So these spurs are great. As you can see, they fold out and then they lock into position, so that's good. Nothing wrong with that at all. And then obviously this Allen key fixing here is quite sturdy, and you can wind these in and out if you want spikes or not. But I would say that from the Live Custom upwards, so Live Custom, Recording Custom, Absolute Hyper Maple Hybrid, and then the PHX kits, they have slightly more sturdy spurs, but these are fine. Okay, probably the same for floor tom legs, not sure. Bass drum mounting just slots in here. Perfectly fine, perfectly sturdy. It's dropped there, and there's a memory lock, and these ball joints, I mean, they're great, to be honest with you. You can position these toms wherever you want them to be. I really can't fault it. Again, I'm not sure that the Live Custom and above don't come with a slightly better one than this, although in pictures they do look the same. I've not really got any problems with this. I've not really got anything to say about it. It works. It's really good. I mean, you can position the toms exactly where you want them to be. It's a really substantial, heavy piece of engineering. Not much more to say about that, really. Likewise with the floor tom legs. I mean, to be honest, they're just standard, not shock absorbed, not suspended, not particularly thick. Again, you can adjust this so you have spikes out or not, but they're absolutely fine. The rack toms mount with the YES system, YESS. Now, I'm not sure it's the latest version that, again, you get on the higher end Yamaha kits. You can see that actually the tom fixing doesn't penetrate the drum. So what you do, slot it on, tighten it up, wallop. It does make a difference how far in you have this rod. I've found that if you have it quite a long way in, it can affect the resonance of the drum, like this. So what I've tended to do is have them a bit further out, like that. There it is with the stock head. What can I tell you? As I say, it's not a sound test. There's plenty of those already out there. So this is an all birch kit. You can see the birch there. The quality of the shells. I mean, they're all really nice. Oh yeah, the snare has got the Chinese reamer heads on it as well. I've never used this. I think I used it for one practice just to see what it was like, and it was fine. So in the bass drum, you can get a really good view of the actual quality of the birch. So I've read or heard that it's not American birch, probably not as good quality, they'd say, and to be honest I would say that's probably right. We'll come to that when we talk about how it sounds. What else? Pretty much this is what you get for your £745. I'll put some photos in of it set up. But there you go. It's actually pretty good value, to be honest, for what you get now. So what have I used it for? I've used it on some pub gigs, basically, where I used an alternative snare. The kick drum is big and beefy. It's better with an EQ4 on it than an EQ3, I think. And I just only had to use a little bit of muffling inside it. I've taken it out for now. And with the Pro Evans G2 and G1 combination, I'd say it sounds good. And for £750, I'd say it sounds very good. That said, it ain't a classic maple, and it's not a Star Classic birch and walnut, or a Natal Bubinga that I had as a house kit the other day. It's nowhere near as good as better kits. It's not as good as a Live Custom that I had the pleasure to sit next to whilst being played at a gig and I was backstage. That is a tremendous kit. This is a very good kit, but I don't think that the YouTube videos that say, oh, you don't need to spend more, you won't notice the difference, I wouldn't say that's true at all. I would say it is £750 worth of kit. Actually, it's probably worth a bit more. It's probably one of the best kits I've ever played under £1,000, but it isn't fully pro sounding. Now, whether or not you could tell the difference mic'd up with good heads, mixed by a good engineer out front, you probably couldn't. I think that's why you find these kits as house kits at festivals quite a lot. Kits at this level, they're sturdy, they're robust, they sound fine, they're not expensive if they break. They probably won't break anyway, to be honest with you, because they're built that well. But from a playing perspective, no, not as good as a more expensive kit. But then, it's £750 at the beginning of 2024. Obviously put a nice snare with it. There's nothing wrong with that, but I've been using it with better ones, in my opinion. I've also got a really nice set of Zildjian K Custom Dark and K Crashes and what have you. And obviously that elevates the sound. Put some good mics on it. The general public won't tell the difference, but as a player, if you want a properly nice kit with a lot of beef and body and resonance and character, well, I've never played better than a Ludwig Classic Maple. Yeah, this is birch, that's maple, obviously there's a difference there, but also that's nearly £3,000 worth of kit. My current Star Classic Walnut Birch is also a tremendous kit, a lot better than this in my opinion from the player's perspective. Why do we play drums? Do we want to just knock it out as a job? Well, I mean, that's what I do, but obviously you want it to feel good and get enjoyment from it. So to me, this is a very, very good kit. Certainly can be used in pro environments with great success, particularly with better heads. But all I really wanted to say was it's held up to everything I've wanted it to do. And I really can't fault it for the money. You probably really can't fault it for probably a little bit more money. But at the end of the day, I would just have to say that probably they do say it's cheaper birch than the actual birch of, say, the Recording Custom kits. And yeah, I suspect they're right, and that's why it doesn't sound quite as good. It's 80% of the way there, but it isn't as full, it isn't as loud, it isn't as attacking, it isn't as clear, and I suspect on the basis that the bass drum spurs perfectly good on this, but they're better on the more upper range at Yamaha kits. I suspect maybe the tom holder, maybe the actual tom mounts might be different. These are fine though, you know. Oh yeah, I mean the hoops, they're just standard things. The tuning, whatever they're called, the lugs, they're standard things, they're fine. You can tune the drum. Clearly I haven't tuned that one very well. Yeah. So in summary, you'll enjoy this kit. There's really no problem with it. If you can justify spending £2,000, £3,000, £4,000 on a kit, then those kits will be better. But you pay your money, you take your choice. Recommended, but don't be fooled. It's not the be all and end all. Great. Thanks very much for watching. So more to follow. Like, subscribe, etc. Ping anything in the comments. And thank you very much indeed. See you later. Bye.